Good afternoon, our merry Marvelites. Welcome to a special Marvel movie talk at a special day and a special time. This is our San Diego Comic-Con Hall H and beyond wrap-up special. We're very excited to be coming to you today. As always, I'm Christian Bladt, joined by Michael Shirley, who was not in Hall H, but he feels like he saw everything.
I watched everything except
for what they weren't allowed to post on the internet.
Guardians and Quantumania. I've seen it all.
But someone who was there is our pal Kaitlin Cornell. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
How was just in broad strokes, how was the whole thing? You were there with our pals from Geekscape, right?
It was really fun. Comic-Con was a really, really good time. And it was a little bit insane. And the lines were very, very long to get into Hall H. Everyone wanted to be there on the Saturday. That was the big day. So it was definitely, there's a lot of buzz, but there was a lot of, waiting and like irritation and like, but we all made it in and we all got to see everything we wanted to see and more. So
that's great. And how you were in Hall H for some of the panels before the big Feige presentation.
Yeah.
Was there like a noticeable like shift in atmosphere, not even as it started, but like as it was getting closer, as like the other panel, whatever's before it, as it starts to wind down, everybody's like, oh, thank God.
It was definitely the stuff that was before. And what's weird is like they kind of put the Entertainment Weekly panel right before the Marvel panel. So there was like, but they didn't put it on the main schedule. Like they didn't put it on the it was like on the schedule, but it wasn't on the website. Like on the website that I posted, I forgot that there was another panel because it just went from like Sandman to Marvel at 5 o'clock. And I'm like, there's an hour and a half difference. Like what's going on? And they were like, oh no, it's the EW panel. I'm like, what? And so there was definitely a like, this is the time. This is the seventh inning stretch to like go to the bathroom and go get your food before Marvel and Kevin came back on stage.
We'll talk a little bit about it when it starts. I understand that there was a little preamble featuring our pal Miss Minutes from Michael's favorite Disney show, Loki.
Wait, is it your No, okay, that's a joke. Okay, cool.
It is definitely a joke, yeah.
So here's the problem. I know everything that happened, but I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there?
No, I told you.
Was it your variant?
No, I was. I left the panel. I left before Marvel started.
Oh,
because I needed to do something else.
I pitched this whole thing as though you were actually there.
No, I told you that I wasn't there.
I missed that.
All right, for as good as it gets, I was there then.
Yeah, exactly. So Michael has seen
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen everything because I was press.
Right,
but I wasn't.
But you didn't.
No,
did you? But you didn't see the trailers that they're not showing anybody,
no,
or you did see them? Okay. All right. So
you did.
Who we really need
is. I only saw the
stuff
that was sent to all of us, which was
who we really need is Daniel Drew, who was there.
Daniel was there.
But and I know you actually took a picture with him, but he's actually at something that I would like to have gone to more than anything that was Comic-Con. Is he messaged that right now there's like a Spider-Man museum that they have as kind of like a pop-up, and I would love to be there. Well, let's go through what we know, and most of it is stuff that we knew. We knew that we were basically winding down Phase 4. There was a She-Hulk trailer, which I think was good to show, because it's like there she is hanging out with her cousin. You kind of see her, instead of just little glimpses. It feels like it's almost like they gave us like a little scene or something. It's a montage, but there was more substance in terms of the character. So I felt like that was a good thing for us to see, and that is the next thing we're going to get in a little bit less than a month. Michael, what did you think of what we've seen of She-Hulk?
I'll say that I'm not worried about the CGI right now. It looks like they hurt us, kind of like Sonic and his teeth. Right. I think they've kind of, imagine us all in 1995. I don't know, Kate might have been in a cradle, but imagine us all in 1995.
I'm 32.
Oh,
are you kidding?
You're still young is good. No,
she wasn't in a cradle, but she had training wheels.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
But like back then we would have thought this was like out of the world good, like CGI.
Sure. Absolutely.
But I think they heard us. I think they probably also knew it wasn't quite up to snuff compared to like they've really done a lot with Hulk, like kind of making him his own character, but still seeing those little bitty kind of features from the actor without making it, you know, let's say Edward Norton Hulk. Like it's like, yeah, it's better. And I'm excited for She-Hulk more than any of these. I am.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. What did you think of what we've gotten to see more recently, Kate?
I'm not excited for She-Hulk at all.
Really?
I'm not stoked for it.
What is it about it that makes you feel like you're not excited?
I don't know. I don't think it knows what it is. Like, it's like she's like looking at the camera and then she's like unsure if she should look at the camera. And then there's like certain aspects of it of just like, I get the idea of looking at the camera as if because she's a lawyer and she's like kind of like, if they're going to make that a bit, then make it a bit. But it just felt like, I don't know what
I have to call you out right
exactly
now, Kate.
what it is.
If that doesn't make sense to you, you've clearly never read a single She-Hulk comic.
Well, maybe you haven't. Maybe you haven't read her.
She does what she does. She breaks the fourth wall. That's her thing.
From the 90s onward. The
but it just,
70s She-Hulk.
I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it, guys.
70s She-Hulk was like took itself seriously. She was the savage She-Hulk. But the sensational She-Hulk,
she's like Deadpool.
Exactly. That's a great comparison. So it might be, and look, I can see that. Look, that could be a little jarring in the trailer, but for me, and maybe for Michael,
that's
the
what
fact
I
that
want.
she did it in the trailer, I'm like, oh, good, all right, that answers that question. They're not going to take it too seriously, and I think that you know, Bruce along for. Having Bruce along for the ride is fun, and Ghost makes the point. She-Hulk broke the fourth wall before Deadpool. I mean, there was no Deadpool. I mean,
that's why
Rob Liefeld was still trying to figure out how to draw feet when we first got ourselves fourth wall She-Hulk. Although some would say he still hasn't figured it out, but that's okay.
Isn't that why you love her so much? Because she is so different and like kind of silly.
Oh yeah. I mean, also when I was actively reading the Fantastic Four, Ben Grimm was off on the Beyonders like Murder World or whatever it was called. And so she was in the Fantastic Four when I first started reading comics, and then she went over to the Avengers. So I like She-Hulk a lot, but what I really like is that John Byrne iteration of her. So, you know, we'll have plenty of time to talk about She-Hulk. I just thought it was smart to show us a little more. We also got a Wakanda Forever trailer, and that includes that will conclude Phase 4, which I'm like, finally, like enough of Phase 4 already. We'll talk about Phase 5. What did you think of the Wakanda Forever trailer, Kate?
Well, here's what I heard coming out of Hall H, because that was probably the most powerful moment of the entire convention, and I'm really sorry. That's the one thing, because I was at another panel because I had to cover something else. That's why I had to leave. But that was the one thing I was sorry that I missed, was they did a very big Chadwick Boseman tribute. And they had all the cast come out on stage. They had some African dancers and some musicians come out on stage and do a huge tribute to Chad. And Shuri was there, and Ryan Coogler was there, and it was and the guy who played Namor was there, and like kind of what it was like to come into a universe. And they allowed the new cast to kind of speak on it, and the old cast to kind of say goodbye to their friend with this, you know, at Hall H. And it was really, really, it was probably, of seeing video, it was probably the most powerful moment of the con. And not video we weren't supposed to watch, of course, but like, you know,
right, but the other stuff,
Oh, they took over that whole audience. They went in the crowd and were drawing.
Yeah.
It was great.
By the way,
stunning.
Cami Egan says that I guess Tanakh Huerta is Namor. That's what she's saying. But what I'm commenting on is Cami Egan has a little avatar of herself now. So now we can see her.
Cool,
I love that. Thank you. And Dominicus Saxon loved all the trailers, and that is actually what he looks like. I've met him. That's the bloody smiley face is him. So
you're not actually answer your question.
Go ahead, Kate.
To answer your question on the trailer, I loved that they took the time in the beginning, and then the blend. They started with what the emotional part of it that everyone was kind of focusing on, because you knew the first trailer for Wakanda Forever, they had to address the loss of the king, and then the blending of the Bob Marley song with "We're Gonna Be All Right," and blending it all together and pulling it into an action movie. And pulling it into, a world, a Wakanda in mourning, but not allowed to mourn. And we were still getting plot, and we were still getting new characters. I think the trailer was very, very well done. And I think it set the tone that they needed to set. That's kind of where I don't know, maybe that's the kind of Marvel fan I am. That's like what I was, maybe that's why I wasn't as jazzed by She-Hulk, and maybe I will be later. It was just that was more the tone I was searching for. That's the tone I've been kind of hunting for in Marvel, especially after how disappointed I was by Thor: Love and Thunder, and I was just like, okay, we're back. And so I felt like that was what I'm most excited about.
My thing was that I've never been worried about Wakanda Forever. I mean, when Chadwick Boseman first passed away, you were like, what are they going to do? But I've always figured that it's going to be fine, but this is the first time that you're able to get excited about it, because it's the first time you actually see anything. So Michael, your thoughts are, you're not feeling the Submariner. You feel like he's a subpar Mariner.
I've got.
Oh, you added a bell?
I have a bell for another show that I do.
That's only for when we're really bad.
So be careful. You don't want that bell, Kate.
You don't want the bell randomly. My problem with him is that I mean, he even said in his speech there, thank you for inclusion. Without inclusion, I wouldn't be here. I'm from the ghetto. Like, literally, he was like, I'm from the hood. And that's all great and fine, but like that, there's plenty of inclusion in Black Panther already. I found it hard to look at him and see the Namor I've seen for almost like 80 years. Like, he looks like Jason Momoa. It looks like they're like, okay, we're gonna do Aquaman better. And that pissed me off, because everyone who knows Namor, he looks like an elf. He looks like something you'd see out of Lord of the Rings in like underwear, with like wings on his feet. And he looked like, something out of Moana. And it was just not what we're used to. I thought that the guy that they cast as Adam Warlock would have been a great looking Namor. Like
Will Coulter?
That kind of, that kind of like fairy, elven kind of face. I just don't get why. I mean, I get it, like
because Rings of Power took all the elven-looking people. Like they had to go a different direction because they didn't have.
They've got exclusivity on all those actors. Shit. You're right, Kate. Yeah.
In America, we take advantage of like, oh, what is this really? Like, everyone here like thinks Jesus is white. We all know he actually looks, more Armenian. If they want to go into like the Atlantic, where they think the Atlantis would be and where those people would live, and maybe those people now would be of Spanish descent, sure. But for me, it was just like, why are you trying to out Momoa?
No one out Momoa.
You can't out Momoa.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to get the character, and I guess it's one of those we'll have to see how it all shakes out. But that's later this year, and that'll close out our phase 4. I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah, I actually agree with that comment Kimmy Egan just made.
Yeah,
I do.
This was people. That was like the fan casting they didn't give us.
I would never suggest him.
Keanu Reeves.
Love it.
Keanu Reeves would have been a great Namor.
And the only other casting that can beat it, is Cammy Egan as Squirrel Girl.
I'm hard pressed to think of characters that Keanu Reeves wouldn't be great in in the MCU. So there's not much time to mourn for the passing of Phase 4.
I have to say though.
Go ahead.
Speaking of the mourning, did everyone see Letitia Wright?
Letitia Wright, yeah, she's in there.
She walked out looking mad as hell. I couldn't take my eyes off of her. She did not crack a smile. She nodded a couple times. She looked mad, and I don't know.
They can attest to you're
about.
supposed to be vaccinated to be there, and they let her in anyway. So that's probably why she was mad. If I had to guess,
I want to know what that was all about.
The vaccination or the anger?
She looked mad.
Oh, I'm gonna look at that again. I didn't notice.
Yeah, watch her.
I'm gonna watch.
Speaking of anti-vaxxers,
I was too busy crying.
It'll bring us to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So the crossover that Michael always wants is Letitia Wright and Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah, they're on Daughters of the Dragon.
Right. But so that's a trailer that they showed, and Daniel Drew did not sneak his phone up. So
they were on you like
no, that's what
there's no analogy that is appropriate.
Somebody
secret agents in the audience.
Yeah, somebody got like 4 seconds of the end of the Guardians trailer somehow. So they must have like done the old like yawn stretch like with their phone in their hand, you know.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So and Cami Egan agrees with Michael that you're absolutely right. She looked pissed off to all high heaven. So so that was a trailer that other people got to see, and we'll just sort of go. We knew that was coming, and then in May of next year we'll get Guardians Volume 3. People that were there also got to see that, and this was when I realized that the Twitter, all of the internet is just worthless. That nobody in the back of the room had some shitty camera film of it that leaked. It just wasn't there.
We're on it.
I know. Well, that's what they do. And according to James Gunn on Twitter after the fact, that the rest of us will see a trailer for that soon-ish. So
they're gonna put it out when Wakanda Forever comes out.
Yeah, I would figure that.
We're gonna get all these trailers that were exclusives to Hall H in the next cycle.
I don't know, but if they can promise that they'll show them again at D23, I think that's how they would convince me.
I think we're gonna get more.
We'll talk about that when we're done with what we got from this. About what we.
You know who I'm excited about? You want to know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about Secret Invasion. I'm excited about Secret Invasion just because I like Samuel L. Jackson in my life. I need more of it. I need more Fury. I need more Ben Mendelsohn. I need it. I need it so bad.
More Ben Mendelsohn?
I like him. I thought he was great. I love Talos. I think he's the shit.
Yeah. Well, Guardians will be May 5th of 2023. And, according to Kevin Smith and other people who saw it, it made people cry. So all the more reason to not show it to anyone. Just go ahead and just let that room full of people cry. You don't want the rest of us to be excited about it, do you? Well, good, because we're not, because you didn't show it to us. But we heard that you got to see what Adam Warlock looked like. Reportedly, there's a baby Rocket Raccoon.
Please tell me he is gold. He is gold, right?
He's gold, yeah.
Okay. He's very gold. He's very gold.
High Evolutionary, which is the same actor who played Murr in Peacemaker. So and he was
came out on stage.
Yeah, he came out on stage. Yeah, that I saw.
It was cringe.
No.
Cringe.
Well, you know what? Something tells me that they didn't. That's not his fault. That means that they didn't write good stuff for him to bring out on stage. It
was like a kid's birthday party.
It was bad.
The Magician came out.
Can you imagine if your kid's birthday party is here's High Evolutionary? Like what?
Here's the problem. The day started with The Rock. So everything after that is kind of downhill. And no matter what excitement happens in terms of full on stage presence personality, you can't beat Dwayne Johnson. And
I think John Cena can, but not at WrestleMania.
Not at WrestleMania.
There's
also a ton of wrestling news that came out of Comic-Con too, which is not related to this at all.
The big one is obviously Vince McMahon, I'm using air quotes, retiring because some more bad news is about to come out apparently. So
there's some cool AEW stuff, like Daniel Bryan's now cleared to come back to wrestling. I don't know. We could go on a tangent. I could go on a tangent. I could always talk about wrestling.
I don't know enough about
I love wrestling too, which probably would surprise you.
No, I don't. I'm not surprised at all. I'm just surprised that we haven't made a thing of it yet.
Seamus.
That's the offshoot. That's the.
Are you going to come to LA for WrestleMania?
WrestleMania.
Oh, they have it
Michael
here
Shirley.
All the time. They have it here. I mean, they have wrestling here all the time.
I know, but are you going to come out? Do I finally get to like meet you in person? Damn it.
Oh, you'll meet me in person one day. Just when I'm.
But he's not going to bring his stand-up X-Men arcade game. Back to High Evolutionary. Kemi Egan wants to know: did we not like the costume, or was it just the presentation was bad? I thought the costume looked all right, but which do either of you dislike the costume?
I thought it was okay, but
it's okay, right?
Okay for Marvel is like, what are we doing?
It was like Party City Galactus. Fuck off,
y'all.
Y'all know
it. Okay for Marvel is basically, wow, DC really stepped up their game this year. So, I'm gonna need Dwayne Johnson to come to my house and pitch me Black Adam, because I saw the trailer for that and I'm like, you're kidding, right? But that's
What's
okay.
the name of the superhero? It doesn't matter what his name is.
The world doesn't need a hero. It got me.
So sometime in the spring we'll get Secret Invasion. I
just need more Samuel L. Jackson in my life, because he threw so much shade at what he called statue projects, or what was called statue projects, and he's just like, man, I just want to go to set and have fun. Like, I don't need like the Oscar or the Emmy or whatever. Like, I just want to go have fun. I want to be in superhero movies. I want to be in Star Wars. So you know what? Yeah. Good for him. Thank you for caring.
I feel like it's going to be a Colby Smulders show, honestly.
Well, she was the one who
I don't mind that.
And talked about it.
I don't care.
You're not a Robin Sparkles girl. What's with you and Colby Smulders? Is there beef?
Oh, me?
No. You
Michael
just said
Shirley
you don't want
has beef with a lot of people.
No, I just think that's. I think she's going to be the lead. I don't have a problem with it. I just think she's going to be the lead. I think we're going to see a lot less Samuel L. Jackson and a lot more Colby Smulders.
I don't mind that.
Maybe it might be comparable to the amount of Bruce Banner we get in She-Hulk. I think there'll be some. But I don't know. I mean, look, I didn't see anything about it, so I just I saw I haven't seen any clips or anything, but we're excited for that. We're gonna get they're gonna follow that up with Echo, which we already know from earlier news. That Echo will feature Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, which ties into some later timeline news, but we'll get to that in a moment. And then also next summer, after some of these shows, we'll get Loki season 2. So Michael's counting down the days.
Two people?
Yeah, go ahead.
About that. Two people in my friend group. They're very, very talented directors. Aaron Moorhart and Benson. They are directing season 2. They directed 2 episodes of Moon Knight, and they are also directing Loki season 2. So I have to shout out they are wonderful people, wonderful writers, solid A+ human beings, and they love the franchise and they love Marvel. So after what they did with Moon Knight, they did the episode where they're trapped in the dreamscape or the deathscape. They're on the boat. And then the horror one where they go into the tomb. They did the tomb and the one after.
Well, if they're really wonderful, they'll give you a bunch of spoilers. But
if they're better than that, they'll come on here and talk with us during Loki season 2.
I just have to shout them out because they're A+ people, and I'm so happy for them.
Yeah. And then we know that movie wise, so we're sprinkling in. We're going chronologically. So movie wise, next year we've already got Quantumania. February 17th, Guardians May 5th, The Marvels July 28th. So we have to wait basically a whole year to see more Kamala Khan and
Brie Larson.
Yes, of course. And also Monica Rambeau. And if my pal Zia was here, the whole thing that she would have been most excited about November 3rd, 2023, Blade. I am not going to lie, I'm not excited about that.
Do we not let it come?
I think we're ready. I think we're ready for Blade.
It's fine, but I'm just not excited for it. If you want me to rank all this stuff, it's very easy to start. I'm putting Blade right at the bottom.
I think Christian and I have a harder time getting excited about characters being rebooted that we've already seen before.
Interesting. Why?
I mean,
you have a harder time with it than I do. I'm all for all 3 iterations of Spider-Man. I'm fine, but I know what you're saying.
I love Blade, like Wesley Snipes Blade. Yeah, like I guess I mean, Jessica Biel kind of messed around with that, but I liked that little series, and I guess I liked it enough that I don't feel like I need it now. So I'm not like, but I think he's going to be a great Blade.
I think Mahershala Ali is going to be fantastic. I have no doubt about that. And Kate's like, I disagree with you. Now she's going to get something. That's all right. Look, I'm just not that excited.
Go to the bathroom.
No, I don't think so, because I think we could see into the bathroom. So, I'm going to assume that's not what it was. I hope. I thought we were getting a quick change into into some kind of Blade garb, but that's all right. I'm like, oh, it's perfect timing. She's like, wait, I got it. I got something. Hey, nice. Perfect. Yeah, take that.
Is that good enough? Is that good enough? Internet?
Take that, Eric Connor, with Kame Egan was actually worried. She's like, Kate got upset and took off, except we could actually see that she was still in the room. Demetrius accent, to Michael's point, it'll be tough to see Blade without Snipes, even though he's not a great actor. It's still his character, but
you obviously haven't seen Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
I hope he has.
Okay, chat.
I feel like Dominicus Saxon has not seen that.
Watch the movie Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. That's your assignment for this week. Next week, I'm going to ask you.
Blue dress?
What?
Was it Devil in a Blue Dress or?
Oh, probably. I don't know. But
what's that other Wesley Snipes movie that's so good?
I'm not sure.
Probably, yeah.
You're definitely thinking of Passenger 57, but I mean, that's clearly the that's his Citizen Kane. And then in the fall of 2023, we'll get Ironheart, and we're seeing her in Wakanda Forever, right? I mean,
we are. We're seeing Riri in Wakanda Forever.
I wanted to make sure that I was right on that.
I'm excited for that.
I want to see it, I mean, it's like, it's so different. And, I think, look, they gotta, those of us who've been around the block a couple of times, they got to replace us with younger generations. So I think it's smart to have a Ms. Marvel show. It's smart to do an Ironheart show. You really, and if everybody's going to watch these shows on their phone, Feige will just have to deal with it. So excited for that, don't know that much about it, but it's fine, but Michael, before I was talking about how Loki season 2 is the thing you're most excited for, but obviously,
definitely
winter of 2023/2024, Agatha, Coven of Chaos.
They don't even, that's so chaotic. They don't even know what to call the damn thing. House of Harkness, Coven of Chaos, whatever.
Yeah.
I wish it was House of Harkness. That would have been cool.
That would have been good.
I think that has more of a comedy tone to it. And I think that it's gonna be like horror comedy. So
I agree with you.
I think they're gonna go down the route of What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Can we say that's like the best show like on TV right now? Like so I can't. But that show is perfect.
Yeah. But I feel like that's given the logo, given what they should, I feel like that's the path that they're taking everything that they think that they're like, what haven't we done? What are people like right now that we can, slip into our world? And that's,
I know they want Catherine O'Hara in there. So that sounds like.
They want Catherine O'Hara? I love that.
Oh yeah. She's in House of Harkness.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No, she's confirmed.
For Coven of Chaos is what you mean. Yes.
Yeah, whatever they're calling it today.
We have an official
the Hark of Darkness.
Yeah, for the for this slate of revelations, I'm sort of skipping something to save for next, but we have an official date and title for Captain America: New World Order, May 3rd, 2024. So we're a full year and a half, almost 2 years from that.
I will die on the hill of that Falcon Winter Soldier was a really good show.
I think it was a good show. It just wasn't my favorite show. I think that, and I do wish Eric was here because he hopes that the banker will be featured heavily in the movie.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be the villain for the Avengers movie.
He might actually.
He's going to be the big bad.
He's going to defeat Kang.
It was Vecna the whole time.
The most excitement, at least from the first like half of the presentation, seemed to be the revelation for Daredevil Born Again, which will be in the spring of 2024. And interestingly, an 18 episode season for that.
Yeah.
They mentioned that we would get Charlie Cox. They mentioned that we would get Vincent D'Onofrio. Didn't talk about Foggy or anybody else.
I wonder if they're going to try to do them shorter instead of 10-hour longs or 8-hour longs, which is what they normally do. Like, I mean, the original one was like 40 or half hour.
Yeah, sometimes they were even
if they're
like
going to try to do 55. That.
I wonder, if these are in the Disney Plus sweet spot of 37-minute hours.
Yeah.
So, and then Cam Egan wanting to keep this on the basically on the theme from earlier. New World Order is the WCW's NWO going to join Sam Wilson? So she said that about earlier. But look, this Daredevil show. Look, this is what we want, and I liked the Defenders verse, whatever you want to call the Netflix shows.
Yeah.
I liked all of them. I think season 2 of Iron Fist was a huge improvement, but you can discount him because I know I'm in the minority. People really liked Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. I hope we also get those shows, but if you're going to tell me I'm only getting one, Daredevil, I think is the one that they need to give us, but I don't for a second think that we won't get Jessica and Luke at some point.
Also, I should also acknowledge that even though I didn't go to the big Marvel panel, I'm sorry I let y'all down, but I was covering something else. I did go to the Marvel Animation panel, if you want to talk about that, and I did go to the Women of Marvel panel on Sunday. And what they did say is that Daredevil will make appearances in the animated verse and is going to be voiced by Charlie Cox.
Great.
So they're kind of connecting all of the, the way they did it with What If by casting their live action actors inside of it. And also Star Trek is oddly doing a similar thing with their crossover from their animated content to their live action content.
Yeah, which is the only way they're going to. They finally found a way that they can get me to watch Lower Decks is put Anson Mount on it. So that's what it's
No, they're doing it the other way.
Oh, it's the other way?
Yeah. So they're doing, they're putting the Lower
Great,
Decks.
I don't have to watch it then.
You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. I highly recommend it because here's my Star Trek hat. It's the shit.
Not to go off on that tangent, but I did like that trailer. The fact that they were circling around Deep Space Nine. That made me feel like I just I'm like the Vulcans. There's no room for hijinks in my Star Trek, and
There's
feel
plenty
like
of room for hijinks.
Not for me. I agree with Spock and T'Pring. I don't like hijinks, and I don't like magic.
Watch that episode because there's so many hijinks.
There's so much hijinks. They made it work, but I don't like hijinks.
Sorry, technique difficile.
That's all right.
I love you to death, Michael Shirley. I think I'm going to change my handle to I love Michael Shirley.
I already own that.
He does own that.
Try.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Just in case.
Love that.
I might do an image change. Let's go.
Let's talk about the Daredevil Born Again.
Okay.
I think it's great. We're getting it. We can hope that it means maybe the return of some of the other characters, but at face value, we know what we're getting. 18 episodes of questionable length. Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio. Your thoughts on that, Michael?
I don't think they're going to be hour. I think they're going to be 22 minutes long.
Definitely not. Yeah.
That's about all I think. Honestly, that's about all I think.
Yeah, but so are you interested in seeing him back as Daredevil, or
always? Yeah, he's great.
He's
I'd
great.
even take. I know you. I would even take Danny Rand back.
Thanks.
I'll take them all.
You can. Yeah, it's like look. It's like a package deal. It's like look. If you want Luke and Jessica, you're gonna have to take Danny, and that's like okay, fine. We'll take Danny too. It's fine.
We'll take Danny too. It's fine.
But that's all right.
What do you guys think about? I know we're on a thing, but what did you think about the news today that Disney Plus is now under fire from the Parent Television Association for putting the Netflix content? For putting the Netflix content under, because they kind of put themselves into a little bit of a corner. Because they promised a couple years ago that Disney Plus would stay family friendly and not rise above PG-13, and anything R-rated would be on Hulu. But because they wanted to keep all of Marvel together, they put the Defenders and Logan and Deadpool under the Marvelverse. What do you guys think about that aspect of it, or is it just like, let's keep everything together? Do you think they made the right call, or do you think
they definitely made the right call,
noise?
and it's nice to be reminded every now and again that this organization still exists. They've been doing this for a long time and complaining about, they complain about NYPD Blue, so it's like they just always have to find something. And look, it's a valid point, but as someone who has Disney Plus set to different profiles for my kids and then for my wife and I, it's very easy. It's actually infuriating as an adult to be logged into the kid one where you're looking around for the stuff you want to watch and you're like, I got to log out. Sometimes you can't find it in there. So look, I think, they keep it separated, and I don't think it's a problem.
Okay.
It makes sense. I mean, look, they want to have it all in one place,
Yeah,
they don't want any Marvel characters showing up on any other streaming services. I mean, they want it all to be on Disney Plus one day. It's just some of those Fox deals and the Sony deals, and it's not all in their control. Cool. But I don't know. I'm not. I think that I wonder. I feel like this Daredevil Born Again though is not going to be TVMA. I feel like it's probably going to be TV-14. If I had to guess.
TV-14.
Yeah, but I don't, because I don't think like Hawkeye or anything has
be nasty with.
Yeah, has anything been TVMA so far? I don't think any of them have, right?
Not of the. Well, I think there's some moments of Falcon Winter Soldier. I'll have to go back and look at it.
Oh yeah.
That are a little bit violent, which is why they were re-edited for the kids. There's like a kids version, and then there's a there's a 14 version, and there's an MA version. And I have to go. I'll check on mine and tweet out to the universe which one it is. But I don't think that there is. But I think that the fact that they can go back and re-edit, and it's a possibility. Like Duffer Brothers are going back and re-editing Stranger Things. Fun fact. So they're fixing
that they can make the episodes even longer. Is that
editing usually means you make it shorter? They're adding in sound effects, and they actually took out something from season 1 that was semi-problematic, but it's also a huge character thing, and I'm just like, all right. You kind of committed to that bit like 5 years ago.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's continue. Let's press onward for not for phase 6, which they decided they wanted to talk about at some point. I mean, there is, of course, the one thing that they teased, which is I forget what they called it now, like the multiverse saga or something.
It's called the multiverse saga.
Yeah. So and that's 2025.
Yeah. Everyone got a cute hat that said multiverse saga, but I didn't think it was that cute.
Well, if Daniel Drew's wearing it, I'm sure it looks great on him.
Daniel Drew looks great in most things.
That's true. I don't disagree. So we'll get 2 Avengers movies in 2025, which sounds crazy to say out loud, but that's what it is. Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers: Secret Wars. Michael, it's not going to be the Secret Wars I want, is it? Yeah, I know. I'm going to just have to come.
Not with Sony involved.
It's going to be a newer one. The newer the Crisis ripoff Secret Wars. It seems to be what we're.
Your comic book's not going to go for what you want it to.
Oh, you mean my triple signed Secret Wars number 8?
These are not the wars you're looking for.
You're gonna have to get the updated version to make real money.
That's true. That's what I'll have to do.
Where do you guys think? Because I had to rewatch the Miss Marvel stuff. And I've been steeped in the X-Men 97 all weekend because that theme was playing freaking everywhere.
I bet, yeah.
And that's probably what I'm most excited about, to be honest.
I'm scared for it.
I love it because it's like they had the creators talking about it, and they had it's done by the concept art. Like, it's just so cool. Like, I'm just so happy.
I was glad to see Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Are we getting the Leewalds on this or no?
They're consulting. Yeah.
They're consulting.
So they're not running it, but they're consulting, and
I want it to feel the same.
Right.
Like if I don't feel like these characters are still the same people,
do you think Yeah.
I won't buy the new X-Men 97 comic or 92 or whatever they're calling it, House of X 97.
Well, there's like an X-Men 92 like Krakoa interpretation.
Yeah, I
will
not. I looked at it and I won't do it.
But
my question is,
yes,
I feel like we're going to get a little bit more mutant talk in Miss Marvel's, definitely. Where else do you think we're going to litter it in and prep for Secret Wars? Because you can't really do Secret Wars without the X-Men, and they're pushing it.
They're pushing definitely going to do Secret Wars without the X-Men.
You think so?
They have Eternals. They'll use the Eternals.
I'm going to be right in the middle between both of you, and that I think that they might, but I'm more inclined to agree with Kate that they'll figure out a way, and it could be
maybe
how they introduce
Storm, maybe Rogue, but not an X-Men team.
Like X-Men people, but not
maybe some X-Men people. I could see Rogue being in it.
Right.
I feel like Rogue is going to be introduced in the Miss Marvels. Like
the Marvels,
Marvels. Sorry.
I do too. I do. I hope so.
I know you've and I want you to be right because I would like to see Rogue, but
Storm. I was really hoping Michaela, I forget her last name. I was really hoping she was going to be Storm. But they introduced her as Nika in Black Panda.
Black Panda.
Can
we make that happen, Marvel? Can we make Black Panda thing?
Lord. I think we'll get Storm and Rogan.
Yeah. We've got Jeff Landshark as a side character, so we can get a Black Panda.
Just lots of pandas.
It'll
be fine.
Rain from the sky.
So obviously there's more to come from D23, and just having the titles of 2 Avengers movies is like it's cool, but when you start to get into 2025, and Ghost 8386 just wants to point out that he'll be 41 in 2025.
Happy birthday.
Keep
going.
Let's just put it this way. I'll be very close to 50. So I'm in no rush for 2025. There's all this great stuff that we just ran down.
But at least your wife will only be 40.
No. By the time I'm 50, she'll be like 43.
Your kids will be able to cart you around by that point.
Let's hope. But obviously the teasiest of teases was just letting us know, like, oh, by the way, phase 6 is really going to kick off with Fantastic Four. And I predicted that they were going to cart out the cast of Fantastic Four in Hall H.
They don't even
think they're going to do it. They're going to do it at D23.
They're going to do it.
They don't know who they're going to be.
They're going to figure it out by D23. I guarantee fucking see it.
Feige's got a picture on his desk of all 4 of them.
They're saying Penn Badgley is going to be Mr. Fantastic. I don't think they have it.
No, I don't know who they is, but
the internet.
No. Yeah, the same internet that can't find me that goddamn Guardians 3 trailer that I want to see. All right, well, that's fine.
That's an algorithm.
Yeah,
taking things down constantly.
Why? It's I look to you to break the algorithms. But so you're not excited for Fantastic Four, Michael, or are you just?
I hate the reboots. Like, I don't need them to do it until they get it right. That's embarrassing.
I mean, but they haven't gotten it right yet.
That's like having like vow renewals every few years, and just like I promise you guys, we're happy.
Well, and we know that Kang is going to be a part of Phase 5, and then
Jonathan Majors slayed on that.
He's great.
Yeah,
I like him a lot.
So hard. I love him.
Here's a Twitter theory that I saw. I can't give the credit to because I just forget. I was scrolling through. They had the thought that the MCU is like the one reality without the Fantastic Four and without the X-Men, because Kang always gets beat by them. So he somehow made sure that they're not here in the MCU. And I'm like, I don't know that that's right, but I'm like, I love that idea. So it'll be very easy to have them pop over from wherever, because just Reed Richards is too smart, and like adult Franklin Richards is somebody who would be able to beat Kang, and
that's like a Phoenix kind of a situation,
right? Yeah, exactly. So I'll ask you first, Michael. You like that idea that Kang is just tired of getting his ass beat by the FF and the X-Men?
I love that idea. Yeah, for sure. But I know I'm not crazy. I feel like he said something about there's 2 versions of him.
Of Kang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely said that. Yeah.
So.
Because at the end of Loki season 1, your favorite show on Earth, there's definitely multiples.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's a great point. And
I don't see why not. That sounds like a fun twist.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the happier version of Lovecraft Country.
Which was Jonathan Major's other show. So what do you think about this idea, Kate, that that's going to kind of be the way to bring the FF and the X-Men in, is like Kang is it's just that Kang was like, and Dominicus Saxon agrees, by the way, as He Who Remains, but Kang was great. We need a lot more of him.
I just had a horrible thought, but I won't.
Please say it. Please say it. Please say it.
Yeah,
please
I
say
think
it.
we need it.
Michael.
All right. So all the stuff they've done with Spider-Man.
Yep.
They're gonna bring in, because they're still embarrassed about how Fantastic Four did. Especially the latest iteration.
The Fan-Four-tastic, yeah.
The Fan-Four-tastic, yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to pull them in just like they did with Spider-Man.
I don't think they're gonna do.
I don't think you could get Miles Teller, Kate Mara. You can get Michael B. Jordan because Michael B. Jordan's still like, he did like What If and stuff. You get Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, and Jessica Alba.
She'll say yeah. And you've already got Chris Evans. Michael Chiklis will never say no.
The other guy,
wouldn't it be hilarious if Chris Evans returned as fucking? I
would love that. And no one ever says
his return
you look
to
like
the
somebody
MCU.
I know. Yeah.
God,
I think they're all going to come back at some point, even if not for 5 minutes.
If any iteration of them, it would be the Jessica Alba one, but the Miles Teller, Kate Mara one, you'll never see them again.
I don't agree, because it was so close, and I feel like that's the one that they're actually embarrassed about. Like truly,
they're definitely embarrassed about it.
Although
they did put a guy from Inhumans in Doctor Strange, so you know what, Michael, maybe you're right.
The best they put in Anson Mount, who should be in everything.
I agree. I mean, just his hair. That's the worst thing of his appearance in Doctor Strange, is that we didn't have his hair.
I know. I am literally going to cosplay next year as just his hair. It's just going to keep growing.
Just bigger and bigger.
Yeah, just bigger and better.
No, I'm calling it now. We're getting them all, unfortunately.
Look, I will tell you that I was wrong and you were right. I will love to be able to say, like, Michael gave us a big "I told you so." I just don't see it. That's just me.
Okay. I never thought in a million years we'd get Andrew Garfield again.
No, I did. What were you going to say, Kate?
I'm wondering if they feel like they can pull the same move twice, especially with Secret Wars, and we have that
loved it.
I know, but they don't love Fantastic Four. Everyone loves Spider-Man. Everyone and their aunt loves Spider-Man. My grandma loves Spider-Man. She doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, but I don't like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, but I get a kick out of it.
I know, but it's nice to see all three of them together. And I don't think anyone cares about, seeing all the Fantastic Four.
You don't want to see invisible women? Like all of them?
That's the whole point. I can't see them, Michael. They're invisible.
You know what? You made a good point. They don't even need Kate Mara. They'll be like, yeah, she's right there.
Yeah.
Hey, hi, Sue.
Justice League or Shazam type of thing.
Oh, yeah. But look, I'm wondering, because of how the multiverse of madness expanded upon how the multiverse works, but now you also have this weird Loki version of like they have the branches, but then of the timeline, but then you have the different universes within the timeline branches, and it's all confusing. And they have to kind of like at least come together at some point, and I don't know how they're going to do it. And I don't know how Eternals is going to actually matter in this, because I don't care about the Eternals, guys. I'm really sorry. I really tried. I tried to rewatch it again. I tried to rewatch it again. And like, I know Harry Styles is in it, which is probably the only thing people care about now.
Well, I knew about that before I even saw the movie.
Shit.
Thanks, Michael.
Everyone flipped their shit when Harry Styles came on the screen, and I'm just like, who's that?
You should have watched it the way Michael did, which is what you did in like 20-minute bursts or something, like the Eternals. You like watch like little sections.
So we should do the Eternals television show. We should get a Daredevil movie and then do the like 18-episode Eternals television show. Perfect.
One other thing that I wanted to...
Oswald is now the resident, I'm going to be a weird creature, CGI creature in every show.
Oh my God. Okay. So, MODOK is coming.
Yeah, that's actually what I was about to
say. Does anyone know who's playing him?
Well, Kame Egan says, who thinks Bill Murray is going to be MODOK?
Weird, but okay.
No, and I mean, if it's something that you know this far out or you've heard, I feel like
that's what I didn't see. I didn't see the Guardians thing. And didn't they say he's in Guardians?
Who, MODOK?
Or is it Quantumania?
No, MODOK's in Quantumania.
Yeah, Quantumania. He's in one of the ones I didn't see the trailer for, and I want to see him. And I hope it's Peter Dinklage.
Oh, you've been talking.
Well, he's already in it. He's already in the MCU.
He's already in the MCU. You got in trouble.
Oh,
for
is Trask?
Yeah. No, that's in Days of Future Past. He's in Endgame. He forges not Mjolnir, the axe.
Stormbreaker.
Chris Evans made it as many people.
That's true.
Whatever.
But so we're gonna see MODOK, which is great for our pal Jordan Bloom and Patton Oswalt. Patton Oswalt should just voice him if they want to be.
Is that really gonna do anything for Jordan at this point, though?
Sure. People will be like, "Oh, there was a
MODOK
they'll
rewatch the series."
Yeah, exactly. Kame Egan is really doubling down on Bill Murray. Look, I would love that. I would love Bill Murray.
He's on the cast list.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. He's uncredited.
Well, that's
on IMDb.
So, and to that extent, Kame Egan says they've confirmed him, but have not said who he's playing. My thought would be Scott Lang's dad. You know, I could see him being Paul Rudd's dad. But MODOK would be great. Anyway, look, there's a lot of stuff to be excited for. And, you know, we did reference it. Excuse me. A moment ago, we talked about how the animation panel, which was before all of this, talked about X-Men 97. What do you got there?
I've got my 14 million pages of notes from the fucking con.
That's great. But I want to talk about the image that was the most important to me from X-Men 97.
It was the most important to me.
It's the Magneto with the M, the
uncanny X-Men.
The Uncanny X-Men number 200, Trial of Magneto, the real Trial of Magneto, not recent nonsense. And I was just like, I never thought we would see that costume again. He wore it for like not even 6 months.
No, it was very short.
Yeah, it's like
that I know about. I didn't read She-Hulk, but I read that one because we got hot Magneto, so I'm into it.
I mean, yeah. Michael, how excited are you to see Magneto with the big M on his chest?
I already said, all I care about is that it continues correctly.
Yeah, I feel like all efforts are being made to do that. That's my understanding.
And I don't want it to be like 2020-ified.
It didn't feel like it. They showed an animatic. They showed an animatic, and they showed all of the character designs. And they have all the cast back that they could get from the original.
Except they recast Jubilee because that actress
didn't Logan.
She's doing a different voice.
No, Logan is still in it, I think.
Yeah.
No, I mean, didn't the man who voiced him, didn't he die?
No. His name's Cal Dodd. He's still out there, and he's always
Lenore's
been
still playing Rogue.
Yeah, because she's not a politician anymore, so she's able to get back into the animation game.
Wait,
and I did see the picture that our friend Happy Cappy posted where she
was
dressed
so
as
good.
Rogue. Yeah, she was a great Rogue.
Out.
I'm excited for that, and you know, my friend from AfterBuzz, who does a lot of the Star Trek stuff with me, Frank Moran, is working on X-Men 97. He's not a real friend though, because he won't tell me anything. But I have faith that you know, his investment is in having it
I feel like I've done a show with him, with you.
He probably sat in on Marvel once or twice. Yeah. But
good
usually
for him. That's awesome.
Yeah. I was very excited. He like for like a full year couldn't tell me what his like new project was that he was excited about. And then eventually when they announced it, he was like, yep, that's me. Yeah. So very excited for that. And so much other stuff. And yes, Kate, go ahead.
Nothing. Go ahead.
No. If you wanted to, if you wanted to talk about, take a moment to talk about the other panel that I know you were interested in. I wanted to give you a moment what your takeaway was from, and tell me which panel it was.
So I went to the animation panel and I went to Women of Marvel panel, which the Women of Marvel panel, it's a really great organization for anyone who's interested. They have a really great podcast and they talk to a lot of creators on the comic book end of things, and highlighting female artists, colorists, writers, executives. They're great. But the Marvel animation panel, they started with this really great video describing visual development at Marvel, and that this one guy basically has designed the entirety of the MCU, and it's Ryan Meyernerting, who's the main designer for What If. So that's kind of the style that you get, and he's the one kind of birthing all of these characters in the
animation styles.
The animation style is his, and What If, but he's the one who did the character designs for the live actions.
So he's the one that created. Is he the guy that did Wanda's costume? Because I know who you're talking about.
Basically, visual development takes basically downloads. It's the bridge between the Rainbow Bridge between the comic sector and the cinematic sector.
Yeah, he pulled some really interesting. It was the behind the scenes for WandaVision. I was like, I'm never watching the behind the scenes stuff again because I hate it and it ruins it.
Yeah.
No, I by the way, I do agree with you. As a kid, I loved behind the scenes stuff. But sometimes when you see it now, you're like, oh, I'm not going to be able to enjoy that now. I'm going to see how they did it. But
he
is always
some
interesting.
Really good stuff, especially when it was the Halloween episode with Wiccan and Speed. And he did a really great job of making it right, and putting Vision in those little not underwear, almost like boxer shorts, just covering it up so he's not looking like Superman in the Speedo. He's done a really great job.
Yeah. So
what were some of the other takeaways from that panel though, Kate?
It was cool to see the artists come out, especially Ryan, who knows a lot about the art making. And it's in terms of describing animation as a style, it's you get to do things with line weight and color and style, because all of the things that they presented at the panel were a completely different animation style. There was no one tone. They kind of decided the tone of it, and based off of what they wanted to create. So they revealed their little short series of I Am Groot, which has already been greenlit for season 2. And it's Baby Groot. And it was basically Baby Groot growing up. And you get these little 7-minute short films. And they played one and it was really cute.
The season 1 will be on August 10th, by the way.
On Disney Plus.
I might have to sit that one out, y'all.
That's fine.
That's all right. Well,
we could probably do it in a single day.
No, don't worry. I'll tell you exactly when we're going to do it, but I'll let you finish.
There's Spider-Man Freshman Year, which is coming out in 2024.
So what's the deal on that? They've said that Tom Holland's not doing it, but he was supposed to be. Where are we at with that?
I don't know that because they mostly just talked about the animation.
Okay,
but they did say that Charlie Cox.
That means they definitely don't know.
They definitely don't know, but they definitely said that Charlie Cox was going to be Daredevil in this one.
I think it's silly.
This freshman year.
They don't have him do the voice. What's the point?
I mean,
who knows? It's a lot of freaking content.
There have been plenty of good Spider-Man voices before.
Yeah.
So,
and we've got we're getting
the great Drake Bell.
Hey, remember they had somebody in What If that everybody thought was Tom Holland, but it actually wasn't.
Yeah,
no,
just use that guy. Whoever that guy is,
But for me, it's more about the continuity. If you want this to bridge the gap between the films and the actor's too busy. How much if he doesn't care enough, why am I going to care?
That's a good point.
I mean, it's a great point, but it's not from lack of trying.
Especially when it's not live action, but something, I don't know. I don't know the things behind the things, but there's a lot of great villains. There's a lot of great, they've divided it into Peter and his high school friends, Peter and his mentorship friends. And he's got a really interesting mentor in the freshman season. So it's going to be interesting. His mentor as a superhero is going to be Harry Osborn. Or not Harry Osborn, but Norman Osborn. Thank you.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because Harry's in the friend group.
Right.
And we're getting Doc Ock. And they've already been greenlit for a season 2, which is going to be called Sophomore Year, obviously.
I've got a hunch that I know what season 3 will be called, but I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
Don't spoil it for me.
Nope. I'm gonna keep
the
it to
other
myself.
thing that they showed a couple of concept art for Marvel Zombies. So the one episode of What If that was all about zombies. They're just like, hey, we're gonna do a whole show about Marvel zombies.
Yeah, right. I saw that, and then that's actually going to be for like adults.
Fun. It kind of looks like adulty, like Evil Dead, like fun. Type of shit. It looks really fun. And they talked a lot about the X-Men animated series. And they have the new leader with Magneto. And then they showed the Disney animatic. And the other thing that they said is if you go on Disney Plus right now, the episodes of 92, the original animated series, are now in the correct and intended order. So when they originally released them in the 90s, they released them not in order all the time. So there was the Dark Phoenix saga was in the wrong place.
Oh yeah, that drove me nuts as a child.
Yeah, no, and
it's now correct.
Having talked to Eric and Julia Lewald about that, it was like because certain episodes would be sent off to other animators, and then those animators would take like a year
forever.
So episodes ended up out of order. So it's great that they finally
fixed it. So if you watch it with your kids now, or if you're rewatching it in prep for 97, they're in the right order. So Disney Plus fixed that. Hooray!
Finally.
And it's coming out in fall of 2023.
Yes.
And What If season 2 is also coming out, which was the big one, because I'm not going to say anything beyond like what the trailer says. We are traveling a little bit again, which is very cool. And they did play the entire first episode of second season for the people in the audience,
which I think is the one that they couldn't finish in time for season 1, if I had to guess, but maybe
I probably so. Yeah. I can say it was really good. It was really good as a fan. And the trailer,
a name,
huh?
Who's the subject of that episode? I think that's all right to say, right? You can say who you saw, like what was the story? Who was the story about?
Don't bite yourself in the foot.
I don't want to bite myself in the foot, but it was a character that appeared first season, and they're continuing her story.
Thank you for the update, and thank you for joining us. It seemed like you had a ton of fun down there.
It was a lot.
It was, and there's a lot to download still, and I'm gonna let people know if anybody ever sends me the Guardians 3 trailer. But so far, nobody. But so we will be back in time to talk She-Hulk in August, and on August 17th on Wednesday. That is the next.
You know what? I'm going to suspend my disbelief. I love Tatiana Maslany, so
yeah,
I'm holding out hope.
There you go. So we'll be back to talk about that, and we'll carve out a few minutes to talk about I Am Groot. So we'll be back Wednesday, our normal day, our normal time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll start breaking down She-Hulk, and then we'll ride it out through the end of the year. But we'll take off a few weeks in the summer. It's our little summer vacation, but we will be back.
Can we do it like also the View, where we go somewhere and like do our show together, like on Hawaii?
Yeah. I mean, that would be great. It would be more.
6 feet apart.
More like
the live audience.
It would be more like the Brady Bunch when they went to Hawaii. I had to guess. So that's when you can find us. But don't forget that you'll be able to see some of us talking about Ms. Marvel over on Geekscape on the 14th, which I have on Get Authority as somebody's birthday. So
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who it is either.
I honestly have no idea who it is.
But speaking of people on Good Authority, I know that Kate has a new podcast that's about to start for Geekscape, and I wanted to give you a moment to talk about
that. It is called. I wish I got my. I wish you would have prepped me. Do I have any stickers?
Yes, I do. Well, you should always assume that
you did a little promo video. You should put that in your profile and.
I will.
Everyone to look up your profile.
Yeah. I will. So at Cornellable, which is, I don't know why I don't have it up. I'm so unprepared, guys. I'm so sorry. I got back at 3 a.m. last night. I woke up at 7 to go to work. So my new podcast is on Geekscape Network. It's called Final Frontier, the science behind the fiction. And I'm going to interview scientists and people who created Star Trek and Star Wars and all your favorite properties of sci-fi on the world building aspect of these new properties, how they're expanding on themes. And then each episode, we're going to ask one science question that is present in the episode and have a scientist say how it's possible or where that tech is right now. So if you go on the Geekscape Network, that's my little logo. Look at that. I passed these out like hotcakes. They were so good. Where am I? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're pointing at it.
I was just pointing at it. Yeah.
Look how cool it is. I passed these out. It was so much fun. I put
so
them
people
everywhere.
Find it over there. When do you have a big premiere date or?
I'm actually about to do a recap of all the Star Trek stuff that happened over the convention. So that will be online today. And then my first episode will be over the weekend. So Saturday or Sunday. Great. And it should be every other week just so I have time to get a new guest on. The cool part about this, guys, is that I talk to a lot of Star Trek people, and Star Trek is interested in Star Trek peeps are interested in participating. So we might get some extra stuff. And then
you might even get this made into like a literal thing. I think it's a really great idea, Kate. I really
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that. It's my little brainchild. And I made a sticker, so now I have to do it. And it's like,
yeah, once you got a sticker, there's no going back. I agree.
Also, as someone who lives in the county of Los Angeles, I'm legally required to have a podcast. Like it's in an ordinance somewhere. But the other cool thing is one of the booths there was NASA booth that shows up every year at Comic-Con, and they were doing their whole thing for the Artemis launch that's happening soon. And I asked if they had any scientists or how to get in touch with their PR department to how do I get scientists on my show? And NASA's going to help me out and throw me a few bones. So hopefully I'll get some real scientists. So it's not just me being, this is me going to art school and wanting to be a scientist instead, but I don't want to go back and get a PhD. So this is literally me following my heart on this is what I'm interested in. How's this real thing?
A cool connection to that. I signed up to have my name sent up in the Artemis spaceship.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll be up there together.
I'm the only loser not going to space. Man. Well, Kate, we're very excited for you, and also always excited for whenever you're able to join us here on the show. Schedule
this
permitting.
Is where I got my start, and it was because Christian was so kind to me, and everyone.
I am very nice.
And all of you guys were like, "Yeah, just keep going," and gave me advice, and made me feel like I had a voice. For anyone who's listening, I didn't believe that I had anything interesting to say. And I'm telling you that if I have something interesting to say and these lovely people, found a platform for me to stand on, so do you. Everyone has a platform. Everyone has something to say. So just go say it.
Well, and you're always welcome to say it with us when you can. And you can, of course, be found at Cornellable and Michael.
All platforms, even Twitter.
Where do people find you, Michael?
I hate Michael Shirley on Instagram and Michael X Shirley on Twitter.
I'm at Christian DMZ. You can find me there and keep tabs on upcoming episodes and all of the things, including this week. Blackcast 499 will feature 2 conversations about recapping Strange New World season 1.
One away.
One away. Yeah. And I've got episode 500 lined up, but the scheduling's been a little tricky.
Really good.
But sometime very soon, you'll at least hear me talking to Dana Carvey and possibly someone else as well, but definitely Dana Carvey. So look for that episode 500 of the Blackcast, BLADTCIST. Coming soon, but 499 should be out by the end of this week. And some of you may have already seen the video versions of that conversation. That's all the time we have for now. We'll see you back on August 17th talking She-Hulk. So until then, as the great Stan Lee would say, Excelsior!